Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you know, today was Ukraine's Independence Day. They celebrated 31 years, something like that. No, yeah, 31 years I think they celebrated of independence. Good for them. I hope you will have many more years to celebrate your independence. Now, the Ukrainians, the leadership, the handlers, stated that there will be massive bombardment and attacks coming from the Russians because they are tards and assholes, and they will just want to, take a poop on the Independence Day of Ukraine. What would Russia have to gain out of that? Nothing, just a low, excitement. But if they were to do that, and I said yesterday that I doubt that the Russians will do such a thing because they don't want to anger the Ukrainian population. It's a PR stunt. They consider the Ukrainian malo Russians, small Russians, little Russians, and so on, which is kind of the Ukrainians don't like that because it's kind of a derogatory term. But that's what I've been told when I was a child. So going further than that. The Russians will have nothing if we consider the Russians are not the way they are portrayed, like criminals with no heart and no civilization, no culture, no tradition, no nothing. Then they would get that kind of excitement and a boner for doing that. I don't think that's the way they are. I know that's not the way they are. And if they are the same, the Ukrainians are not different. But anyway. I couldn't find any massive bombardment that the Ukrainians were talking about today, and I looked and I saw, hey, what's going on? Is I don't know, Kiev flat already or not? No, Kiev, it's still there, untouched, no problem. The hysteria is gone, created by the Ukrainian handlers who said that there's going to be massive bombardment. Ukrainians tried to leave town, Kiev. That was, again, scare tactic to make them, whatever. You can control people that have scare in their hearts easier than a person who's self-confident and has value. So here we have this article coming from Ukrinform, and it's from today, the 24th of August 2022. And Podolyak claims that massive shelling of Ukraine on Independence Day shows Russia's helplessness. First, as I said, I didn't find any massive shelling out of the ordinary. I didn't see like 3,000, caliber missiles or Uragan or whatever sent. So anyway, I don't see any evidence to support that claim. And then the logic. So if this guy says there is a massive shelling, how could it show helplessness? On the contrary, it shows potency, that you have the capacity, you have the means to do something. It is like, let's say you play soccer, and there's two teams, and they fight, they play, blah, 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 and all of a sudden one team is on the attack and attacks and then pushes, and the other team who's on the losing end says, the fact that these guys are in our field here and are shooting and are dribbling and are doing all these things shows their helplessness. What? If that's helplessness, then what's your behavior? Because you are by these guys that are helpless. I mean, you are bombarded by the helpless ones. So then what makes you? You know what I mean? I mean, look at this weasel. He's like 5 years old or something, Podolyak. So let's say you fight. You're in a fist fight, competition, and you bam, 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 beam, boom, boom, whatever. And all of a sudden, the other guy, let's say, catches a second wind or something, and he starts boom, bam, bam, boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. It becomes like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And your trainer behind says, don't worry. That shows his helplessness. I don't think so, because I get pummeled here. Tell me in what context, in what psychological or philosophical, ideology, theory, this is a sign of I mean, it's true that, you know, if someone grabs you by the neck and tries to, drown you in a lake or in the water, you scramble, you try. But when you're helpless, but then you lose energy. You don't have oxygen, so you can't possibly start, fighting harder at that time because your body doesn't allow you that. It's not that you don't want, you might want, but you don't have the physical abilities. Oxygen, you need oxygen for muscles, so you're losing it, and you start fainting. Now that is helplessness. Not when you're still there and you do whatever you do. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but if these guys decided to bomb you on this day, that means they can. That means potency, not, you know what I mean. The massive shelling of Ukraine on Independence Day is another manifestation of the helplessness and terrorist nature of Russian invaders. Okay, we heard that for the past 6 months. Come on, change the tune. Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to head of the Ukrainian president's office, wrote this on Twitter, Ukrinform reports. Massive shelling of Ukraine on Independence Day is another manifestation of raw barbarism, helplessness and terrorism nature after 6 months of shame. It is still not clear that trying to intimidate Ukrainians is a losing option. Better think about the final gesture of goodwill, Podolyak wrote. This guy is on a different... gone. So he says here that after 6 months, where is that? After 6 months of shame, who is he talking about? So if I look at the map, I see that Ukrainians kind of got wherever they want to get, didn't they? The territory of Lugansk, Donetsk, Crimea. I never heard about them getting, by the way, the southern Ukraine, Odessa. It was never talked about Odessa. Never. It was just Luhansk, Donetsk, Crimea, and it's almost done over there. They just want to make sure that they clear a little bit to the east so they don't get hit by to the west, so they don't get hit by whatever these guys have. Missiles. So far, I'm sorry, but this guy's winning. This reminds me of Donald Trump, where we had primaries against the other weasels, and they were on the stage, and it was Jeb Bush, from the royalty over there, the Bush family that he destroyed. He cut the head of those guys, like he cut the Clintons, and he cut the who were the third one? I can't remember right now. So anyway, they're over there nicely. He was Jeb Bush, like the 6th over there, because I think there were 12. It was the 6th going out, and he was talking, blah, 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 and he said, Trump, something like, what are you talking about? As of now, I'm winning. I'm right here in a meeting. I have, 70% of the vote, and you have 1%. So far, I'm winning. What are you talking about? The same here. What are you talking about, Podolyak? The Russians so far are winning. Where's the shame? I mean, something like that. Shame on you. Shame. That's how it was. Shame on you. Shame. You can't push yourself through with your rudeness and something like that. You can push yourself into presidency with your rudeness. And he said, well, it seems like it's working, kind of like that. You're over there. I'm over here. So far, I'm winning. So shut up. The same here. What are you talking, Podolyak? So far, you're losing. Where's the shame? What's the shame? Where is it? And again, they must be desperate, but they flatten us. But if that's true, and I don't think it's true, I haven't seen any evidence that the Russians intensify their barbarism and so on. Podolyak. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Podolyak.